Do you know what? I love the beach. It's my happy place. And it's no secret that I love food too.
Beautiful. A good meal can make my heart sing.
I like a breakfast hash.
And soothe my soul.
I'm always dancing in my kitchen, I can't help it.
So I'm getting out and about, meeting some amazing people, producing wonderful, feel-good food.
Wow.
And I'll be sending my friend and fellow chef, Joseph Dennison Carey, off in search of some inspirational stories of his own.
It's so good.
All the amazing characters and flavours we discover will inspire me to conjure up a treasure chest of delicious dishes that I know will put a smile on your face too.
Yeah, boy. Yummy top. Can I finish now?
I'll make a racket, don't they, eh? Yeah. Feast your eyes on that.
So join me on my travels and in my kitchen for some good mood food.
Hello, thanks for joining us. Today's show, we're heeding Mum and Dad's advice and eating up our veggies, and the show is packed full of wonderful nibbles. I'll be visiting a farm growing the top of the British crops, asparagus.
Beautiful.
And turning it into a tasty one-pot treat, asparagus and artichoke also, with spinach and pine nuts. Joseph's in Norfolk in search of something crunchy and delicious, radishes.
It doesn't get much fresher than this, does it?
I'll be sprucing up the ugly duckling of the veg aisle, serving celeriac remoulade with chicken and herb flatties. And I'll be giving Peter Rabbit's favourite nibble a herby twist with my carrot, orange and rosemary loaf. But first, we're starting with an absolute banger, my crispy cauliflower bites with a kicking Korean sauce. Now, we're going to be starting off with making our batter so we can dip our cauliflower florets into it. Take your flour, sprinkle that into your bowl. There we are. And then I'm going to be adding some garlic powder here. To the addition of that, I've got some lovely chilli flakes in there too. So in with your garlic powder and your chilli flakes. And next up is this bad boy here, the gochujang paste. Very, very spicy indeed. Really, really delivers. So just going to take that. And if you haven't got this, guys, you could use a bit of sweet chilli. It's going to give you that lovely kind of pepperiness, that lovely chilliness that we're looking for. That's it. Now, of course, we're going to make that into a batter, so we need the addition of some milk. And in here, I've got some oat milk, making this the perfect vegan dish. In with the oat milk. You can see I'm just stirring that around. Look at that paste now. So what we're actually looking for here, guys, if you check this out, is quite a thick paste. Can you see that? It's quite thick. That will cling on to our cauliflower floret. Hey, look at this one here. Isn't it lovely? Those leaves should be lovely and crispy. Can you hear that again? And a really nice kind of snap to it. All right, I'm going to start with the base here. I'm getting my knife and I'm very gently just running it around the base of the root there, OK? Pulling that out. A little pull there. They just come out. Look at that. Here you go. These are florets. If they're too big, we can reduce them in size, and we end up with lots more lovely florets. All right, guys. Now, once we pass them through our lovely paste here, we're going to be dipping them into breadcrumbs. And what I've got here is some panko crumbs. If you wanted to, you could just whip up some breadcrumbs, food processor, bit of stale bread, pop it in there. And then we've got some sesame seed here. So I'm just sprinkling that in there too, along with a good pinch of salt. That's it. And just work that through with your fingers, OK? Just like that. That's lovely. So, there we are. So you take your floret and you go into your paste, all right, making sure it's well coated. That's it. Can you see that? And then in there. And then you just toss that together like that. Beautiful. So again, nice little production going on here. OK, give it a little bang to remove the excess. That's it. I'm just taking those out and popping that onto a baking tray. OK, and you can see I've lined that with a bit of parchment paper. A few more of those. OK, coming towards the end. That's it. Hey, how about that? Let me just wash my hands. Now, as I said, I'm going to pop those into the oven. We're talking about 220, OK? So it's quite a high oven, but the idea of that is we want to get those lovely and crispy. You take those, you pop those into your oven, and going to take about 20 minutes, and you can turn those over. Keep an eye on them, and altogether they're going to be in the oven for about half an hour, and then we could serve it with a beautiful sauce, which is coming up. Lovely. Now, what about that lovely sauce? Well, now I'm keeping this vegan, as I said, so I'm not going to put any butter or... I've got some coconut oil here that I'm going to start with, and I'm going to pop that into my saucepan. That's it, just let that melt down a little bit. And to that, we're going to add some rice vinegar, along with some soy sauce, light soy sauce. OK, and we've also got some maple syrup here. I love maple syrup, just love it. Even in some drinks, you know me and my drinks. I do love making up the odd drink and sort of getting a concoction going, shaking it up. What else are you going to put in there, Ainsley? Well, we've got some orange, so I'm going to take that orange, give it a little bit of a roll, and we're going to put the juice of the orange into our lovely beautiful sauce. There you go. Give that a bit of a squeeze. There we are. We've got some tomato ketchup here. Yeah, just ordinary tomato ketchup. So we're going to put that into our sauce. Let's just reduce that heat a little bit. That's lovely. And the gochujang paste, a little bit more of that going into our mix here. That's lovely. And I'm just going to finish that off. And I've got a clove of garlic here that I'm just going to chop up. You can use a bit of garlic paste if you want. So I'm just going to chop a little bit of that. No, don't lose any of that oil. So I'm just going to take a little bit of salt here. There you go. Pop that on there like that. And give that a little bit of a crush. Crushing that right down. There you go. Look at this. And we pop that into our sauce. There we are. That'll liven that right up. Allow that to cook down a little bit. Look at that. Beautiful. I like a kicking Korean sauce. Do, 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 do. I like a kicking Korean sauce. Do, 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 do. That's it. Just let that stir around. All right, then. I think we need to go in, just turn over those cauliflower florets, and then we'll come back to our sauce in a moment. Lovely. Now, look at these. You can hear, listen, they're a little bit crispy. That's it. So they've been in there for about sort of 20 minutes, all right? We're going to give those another, I don't know, 5–10 minutes, and they'll be ready to come out, and we can serve them. Do a little bit of garnish. And here we are. I've got here some spring onions, which I'm just going to be shredding on the angle like that. OK. That's it. I think that will be enough there. And we've got a touch of fresh coriander here, which I love. OK, let's get our lovely florets out. Whoa! Yeah, check out those bad boys. Don't they look lovely? There we are. Now I'm going to put a little bit of sauce into my container first here. Look at that in the middle there. I'm just going to pop these all around here like this. Look at that. Yeah, look at those. Just pile those up there like that. Wonderful, wonderful. I'm just going to take a spoon. There we are. What's this? I'm going to just hit no more than that. OK. And spring onions. A little bit of the coriander too. There we are. And there we have it, my crispy cauliflower kicking Korean bites. Go on, get crunchy on me. Today, we're in veggie heaven. Already, I've rustled up my crispy cauliflower bites with a kicking Korean sauce. And later, Joe checks out a radish farm in Norfolk.
It's like something out of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
I get cooking on the barbecue, making my lemon and herb chicken flatties, served with a rich and creamy celeriac remoulade. And the perfect cake for any occasion, a moist carrot cake with hints of orange and rosemary. Oh, delicious. But first, I'm off to meet Neil Cairns, who knows one or two things about Britain's most popular vegetable. And when I say most popular, I mean with me. So I've hot-footed it to Hampshire on the hunt for a really versatile veggie. And it's only in season for a short time, but boy, does it deliver.
Hey, Neil. How you doing, mate?
I'm all right, you? How are
Yeah,
you?
fantastic. So what have we got here?
Well, this is their spring offering of asparagus at the minute.
It's looking good. What have you got there, then?
So this is an asparagus root. That's the crown that we plant in the ground. We plant it in the spring and then it grows, it then puts this shoot out up through the ground.
Yeah.
And that will grow to probably 10 times the size of that over the next 10 years. They can go down to a metre deep plus.
That's fascinating. Now, what about this field? How much asparagus do you actually produce and how often can you produce it?
We're producing somewhere around 400 tonnes a season from round about St George's Day to the 21st of June.
Quite a short season then, isn't it?
Well, the British season is very, very short.
I suppose that's why asparagus is not like buying carrots. It's not the cheapest vegetable on the market, is it?
It's one of the most expensive vegetables. Because it's all manual labour, it's obviously planted by hand, it's cut by hand.
Wow, hand cut, I can't believe it.
It's all hand cut.
Everything, can you imagine? Look at the vastness of this, everybody. How quickly does it grow when that season kicks in?
Once it's come through the ground, and it can take quite a number of weeks to go from the top of the crown to the heat through the ground. But if our conditions are right, it will grow somewhere around 2 centimetres an hour at times.
You're joking.
Yeah, you literally can see it grow. You harvest it in the morning, and you're actually talking about harvesting it in the afternoon as well.
Yeah, brilliant, isn't it, eh?
So,
really fast growing. What's your favourite way of eating it, Neil?
I like it griddled.
Bit of butter or a bit of hollandaise?
Bit of butter, bit of black pepper. Fine.
That's it. I wouldn't mind doing a bit of harvesting myself here.
I've got a knife in my pocket.
What a gentleman
just
you
for
are.
you.
Look at that, brilliant. Where should we start?
We'll start right here.
Yeah. So, just down there, Neil?
Yeah, that's
Just
it.
in there. Beautiful. I think I'm doing quite well.
Yeah, doing all right.
Yeah, can I get a job here?
I'll discuss it with the team and see if they can fit you in then.
I think that means no, doesn't it, eh? So, Neil, this has come from the field, has it?
Yeah, this has just been cut today. This will then go into the fridge tonight, and the following day it'll be graded on one of these machines that we're standing in front of. So that's done in different lengths, so 21, 18, 15 centimetres.
So you've got the fat one, you've got the little sprucey thin ones. If I was a customer and I went into the greengrocer, I went to a market, what should I go for, Neil?
Personally,
Yeah.
I would definitely go in the mid-range. That's me personally. But some people feel that a bigger spear is more value for money than a thinner spear. But then, that'll take longer to cook than this one or this one.
What a pleasure it has been talking to you. I really, really have enjoyed it.
Thanks for
being
coming.
out in the field with you. What's that over there then, Neil?
Well,
No, that's over there. That's it, lovely.
It's always nice to know where our food comes from, and I definitely have the utmost respect for these gorgeous little spears.
Well, I certainly hope that my next dish does justice to all the hard work that goes into growing these beautiful stems. It's my asparagus and artichoke orzo with spinach and pine nuts. Ah, asparagus. Love it. First of all, I want you to take them and just cut them in half, OK? We're not going to waste any of that. You can cut off the ends if they are a little bit woody. Take that, put them into a bowl, and then to that, I've got a little bit of garlic going in there. I've already chopped that up there for you, all right then. A little bit of chilli flakes going in there too, touch of chilli flakes. There you go, lovely. All right, then I'm going to put in some lemon zest. And I'm going to keep an additional bit here that I'm going to pop on my board because I want to use that with my artichokes a little bit later on. Just going to keep that. And one of the reasons I've done that is because I want to cut that in half like that, and I want to squeeze the juice of that on top of the asparagus, all right? Give that a good old squeeze. That's it. Lovely. And then we're going to put a little bit of olive oil on there. And I'm just tossing that through like that, all right? So we've got all that lovely lemony, chilly, citrusy flavours going on in there. And just putting that to one side, all right? That's lovely. All right, beautiful. I'm going to take a shallot and just use a sharp knife here. You can cut through there, chopping it up. Okay, a little bit of oil going into our pan here. There you go. Oliaru! In with the shallots. I've also got one clove of garlic here that I'm going to put in. I'm just going to kind of chop that very quickly so you get that lovely garlic flavour in there. Here it is, look at that. We're just going to take that and we're going to pop that in there. There we are. I'm just going to move that around our pan now. So we're cooking those. Turn that heat down, okay? We're just going to cook those until almost kind of transparent. All right, that's what we're looking for. There you go. What does that mean? That means that the next ingredient is required, and this is orzo. It looks like rice, but in fact it's a pasta. Is it a pasta with rice? No, it's a pasta that looks like rice, but it's absolutely delicious. Can you see those, how it looks like that? Look at that. There we are, look, beautiful. That's going into our pan, all right? Stir that around, sweat that off there a little bit. Cooks relatively quickly too. All right, you can see that sweating down. Beautiful. And now we can add our stock. Beautiful. Okay, and now we could just increase that heat a little bit. We're going to bring that up almost to the boil. How do you like your orzo, baby? Do you like it bubbling? How do you like your orzo, baby? Come to Ainsley's kitchen and I'll show you how to stir it right. Oh, it looks so bright. Ah. There you go. Give that a little bit of a stir. That's beautiful, isn't it, eh? Now, as soon as that's coming up to the boil, what I want you to do is, I've got my artichokes here. Look at those. Beautiful. Now, you can buy artichokes. Can you see that? You can get them in a jar. Those in olive oil just work absolutely perfect. And I'm just going to take these and pop them into my orzo dish here. You see, they look like oysters almost, sort of sitting on the top there like that. And look at that. And I've got a little bit of that lovely oil. I'm not going to waste any of that. All of that goes in there too. That's beautiful. And let's not forget, remember I had that lemon zest? Pick up the remainder of that lemon zest and sprinkle that in there too. And a bit of that. Beautiful. Okay, fabulous. Oh. That's it, just loosen it. You'll find sometimes it gets a little bit sticky on the base, so just run your spoon around there and you can feel it loosening up anything that's gathered at the bottom there. That's perfect. And then, remember that asparagus? Well, I'm just going to sprinkle those on the top there, like that. Perfect. I'm going to pop that into my oven. That's 180 degrees if you've got a fan, for about 18 or 20 minutes. There we are. In we go. Beautiful. Fabulous. Now that won't take long. I'm just going to take our pine nuts, put them into a warmish pan. I'm just going to toast them and just give your pine nuts a gentle kind of, you know, toss in the pan. What we tend to do at this point is you kind of think, I could leave that on a little bit longer. No, the residual heat that's in that pan is going to end up toasting them. So just at this stage, can you see that? There they go. I think that's enough. Pop those back in there now. OK, shall we have a look? There we are. Now, hey, ready for this? Look at that. Beautiful. All that beautiful stock has been soaked up by the orzo, and so all the flavours have been collected in there. OK, these asparagus, what I'm going to do is, look at this. I'm just going to take those and pop them onto a plate. You'll see why in a moment. Those spears, still a little bit crunchy, which is perfect for asparagus, by the way. There we are. Now, and I've got some basil and spinach here. This is just going to wilt down ever so quickly. So just incorporate a little bit first, yeah? A bit of a trick. We'll just kind of mix it up like that. Can you see that? Just bringing that together. Beautiful. And then I've got a lovely hard cheese, a veggie hard cheese that I'm just going to put in there. You can get so many different varieties of cheese now. And I'm just going to take some of that and just grate that liberally. Fabulous. That's lovely. The spinach and the basil just beginning to wilt a little bit. And at that stage, we're just going to take our asparagus, put that back on top again, like this. Just a few more of those leaves, just on the top there, like that, not too many. Pine nuts. And a bit more hard veggie cheese. And a little drizzle. Yeah. Olio. There you go. There you have it. Come on, you lot, sit down. What are we having tonight, Dad? We're having my asparagus and artichoke orzo with spinach and pine nuts. Yeah. Feast your eyes on that. Today, we're rejoicing in the splendour of vegetables. I've already made my crispy cauliflower bites with a Korean sauce that packs a punch, and a one pot full of tasty veg without the washing up. Later, I'll be making a delicious carrot cake. But now, it's time to join Chef Joe on the Norfolk Fens.
It's every chef's dream to get their hands on the most seasonal produce. In my opinion, it's the difference between good and really great food, which is why I'm here at G's Growers to see if I can get my hands on some of the earliest crops of the season. I've been told I need to wear my high vis hat, but to be honest, I quite like it. Emma, how's it going?
Hello, good, how are you?
Yeah, I'm great, thank you.
Good, good.
I would love to know what you have got growing underneath all of this.
So we've got red round radish growing here. We grow 3 different types of radishes, but predominantly the red round here on the fens.
You said we're on the fens. That's quite important for the soil, right?
Yep. Yeah, so this was all underwater. So we drained it 50 years ago and we're on about 75% organic matter. It's perfect growing soil for radishes because it's very fertile and drains easily as well. So,
what's the season like for radishes? I mean, when can you start harvesting them and when can you finish?
So we tend to start in April and then finish in October, so it's the quickest growing salad crop. In the middle of the summer it takes about 21 days to grow.
That's incredible, it's only 21 days from start to finish.
Yep, obviously at the start of the season it's a bit colder, so it takes a bit longer. And if we've had a lot of rain, the radish is more juicy. If it's hotter, so in the long sunny days in the summer, the radish is hotter.
So that's quite a big difference harvesting them now compared to maybe 3 or 6 months down the line. The flavour of the product is changing a lot. I can see the tractors over there doing quite a lot of work. I mean, what is happening? What's the process like?
So the tractor in the front, so he's cutting the tops off, and then the tractor behind will then lift the radish. It will go through a web where the soil and the small radish drops through. So then onto a conveyor belt into the trailer, So they'll go back to the farmyard where they'll be washed through the wash line. They're graded into different size specs, so they'll go the small, medium, large radishes. It's then QC checked to ensure we've got perfect quality. And there's ladies on the line who will then pick off the radish with the defects. They'll then go into a dough lav, into the cold store, be packed, and then they'll be on the shelf within 48 hours.
48 hours
Yeah.
between being picked and hitting the shelves?
Yeah.
That's incredible. Wow, it's so fast. Do you reckon we'll be able to take some out of the ground?
Yes.
Yeah?
Go ahead.
Awesome. I can just pick it straight out?
Straight out.
Okay, great. Oh, I mean, look at that. Look at the colour on that. That is incredible. I mean, it doesn't get much fresher than this, does it? Give it a little clean. I'm going to dive straight in. That is so fresh, so crisp as well. It's like the perfect temperature. It's incredibly juicy as well. I mean, you probably think I'm quite weird eating it straight out of the ground, don't you?
No, not at all.
Man, these are great. Right, well, I mean, I've seen the field. I'd love to go and have a look at the process back at the factory.
Yeah, let's go.
Awesome. Wow, I mean, it's like something out of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. These were, hands down, the best radishes I've ever had, but I'm hardly surprised. I mean, is there any better way to eat vegetables than fresh out of the soil they were grown in? I don't know about you, but I don't think so. This is as good as it gets.
Wonderful. You know, radishes can really, really liven up a dish. I like taking vegetables that can change the dimension of things, can change the recipe a little bit, but introduce a wonderful flavour. And this particular vegetable, yeah, the celeriac, is in that field. It's got a really nutty flavour, and the real beauty of it, of course, that it's available all year round. So I've got some chicken flatties that I'm going to put a lovely marinade with, and I want to serve it with a nice celeriac remoulade. Beautiful. But what about those flatties? How do we get some flavour in there? Well, we're going to take our dish, we're going to introduce a little bit of olive oil to go into it to start with. What I've got here, some dried mixed herbs and some chilli flakes, so I'm putting that in there too, okay? I've also got some very interesting herbs here, a bit of lemon thyme, along with some basil there and some parsley. I'm going to chop that up a little bit. That's going to go into our oil. A little bit of lemon zest. Give that a good tap. A little bit of juice going in there too. Fabulous. And going to grate in a little bit of garlic. There it all is. A little bit of salt and a touch of pepper. Beautiful. Now, just going to mix that round a bit with my brush. That is absolutely proper. So fresh, so vibrant, so lovely. Here is our chicken breast. Now, there we are. Can you see what I've got there? Flat. Put your hand on there. And we're not cutting all the way through, all right? You just want to kind of get to the point where we can open it up and create that lovely butterfly effect, all right? There it is. Okay, let's take another one. Beautiful. Now I want to give that a little bit of a bash. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the cling film, put on my board here. Okay. Take one of my breast, pop that on the top there like that. Lift up, and we're going to take our lovely escallop, and that goes straight into our marinade. And then we can just move that around a little bit. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay, let's do another bit of cling film. Okay. Beautiful. Oh, lovely. And the real advantage, guys, of bashing it like this, you want to try and get it as even as possible, is it's going to cook nice and quickly, all right? Just open that up now. Take that. There's our beautiful, even scallop, and that's going into our marinade. Okay, let's just roll that around a little bit. And there you have it. Okay, I've got one that I've been marinating for about a couple of hours. It's going to work ideal on the barbecue. It won't take very long at all. But first up, let's make the creamy mixture for the remoulade. And what you're going to need for that is to start off is with some mayonnaise. Just good old mayo. I've also got some creme fraiche here. So I'm going to use a few spoons of that going in there. Perfect. That's lovely. A bit of grain mustard there. A little bit of oil. That's it. Okay. And it's a little bit of lemon zest. Touch of juice. Fresh parsley, just chopped. Salt. And some pepper. Now, one of the most important things here, I say to you time after time after time, this is your recipe, so please have a little bit of a taste. Make sure you've got the right balance. If you've got enough salt or pepper in there, this is the way you find out. That's perfect, Ainge, perfect. Lovely. There you go. Now, what about that celeriac? You often see that in the supermarket, don't you? It looks pretty ugly. And you probably think, what do I do with that? Well, really, all you're doing is you just take it, you chop off the top and bottom so it stays steady on your board. You get that lovely creaminess inside. And you're just going to take that knife and just running it down like that, all right? All the way around. That's beautiful. And I've got some celeriac here that I've already put into some lemon water. That's just to prevent it from discolouring. Now, before we shred that up, let's get our chicken escallops on. I'm just going to pop them straight on to my barbie. Just going to heat that up and toast those off really beautifully, or char them off beautifully. Okay, now, I've got my mandolin here with a super sharp blade too, so please be very, very careful. I think that's perfect. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. The little fine matchsticks, if you like, of celeriac. Let's turn these over. Got a couple of bits of lemon there. Let's just char those up to go with our chicken. All that pushing, that's hard work, isn't it, eh? Oh, lovely. Thank you, sunshine. Oh, that's good. I bet you don't even notice with my shirt, do you? Where's the drink? Oh, lovely. Oh, how silly are we? Take your celeriac and pop that into your beautiful creamy mixture. Look at that. Really, really lovely. Wow. Perfect. Gonna make a nice bowl of that. Wow, there you go. That really, really is lovely. Okay, let me just take a little bit of that parsley there. Okay, let's serve up now. Got our gorgeous chicken here. Beautiful. Look at that, glistening. in the sunshine. And there you have it, lemon and herb chicken flatties with a celeriac remoulade. Today has been a smorgasbord of vegetable loveliness. From crispy cauliflower with a spicy sauce, a mess-free one-pot dish packed with veg, and my chicken flatties with that creamy celeriac remoulade. And now it's time for something sweet. No, not this. It's my carrot, orange and rosemary loaf cake. Simple enough to do. I don't know about you, but every time I go off to a cake shop or something like that, it's always a toss-up between the lemon drizzle and the carrot cake. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? But especially when it's lovely and moist and delicious. Well, this is exactly that. OK, now I want you to take your flour, sprinkle that into a bowl. You don't need to sieve it in this modern day and age. If you want to, if you've had it in your cupboard for weeks and weeks and weeks, but really absolutely fine like that. Then I've got my cinnamon here, OK? I'm just going to sprinkle that cinnamon on top too, followed by baking powder. OK, the baking powder, that's going to help it rise, OK? So that goes on top. And just a little pinch of salt, all right? And then just work that through, just kind of giving it a little bit of a stir so everything gets distributed lovely. There you go. Mix that round a little bit. That's fine. Now, what about the wet? What are we going to introduce to it to give it that wonderful flavour, to keep it lovely and moist? Well, we're going to start off with vegetable oil. No, not butter or margarine, it's vegetable oil. Vegetable oil going into your bowl, along with 2 different types of sugar, OK? A little bit of soft brown sugar there, look at that, going in there, and followed by some caster sugar. All right, then, white caster sugar. OK, let's get the egg in there. 1, 2, 3 eggs, OK? Along with about a teaspoon of the vanilla extract. That's it, beautiful. And then the juice and zest of 1 orange. Look at that, lovely. Give that a little bit of a tap. Fabulous. See if we've got a few of those pips in there. We just pull those out. That should be fine. Just squeeze that now. That's it, beautiful. Oh, yeah, I think I took all the seeds out, actually. That's perfect. Let's get rid of that. This is the fun part, isn't it? We can get our beaters in there now, and we can start to incorporate all those wonderful flavours together. OK, on with that. That's it to start with, and then gradually build that up, OK? Just gradually build that up. Yeah, look at that. Lovely. It's almost like a cafe au lait, isn't it, looking in there? All that loveliness. You can also see the little flecks of orange going on there. And then we're going to take our dry ingredient that we started with. That's the flour and the cinnamon, the baking powder and the salt. And we're just going to pop that into our wet like that, all right? That's OK. Just stirring that through. That's it. And then just going to mix that together like that. Can you see? Beautiful. Just bringing that all together. Oh. OK, the next ingredient is the carrot. We're just going to grate those up now and pop that straight into our bowl. And another one there. Not too coarse, but enough to give it that crunchy bite. There you go, guys. There's your grated carrot in there. But before you start to blend that in, let's chop a bit of fresh rosemary. Now, this is the addition, perhaps, that you don't sometimes get when you go to your favourite cake shop, is the rosemary, but it really does. It adds such a wonderful sort of floral sort of flavour to the whole thing. So I'm just going to take that, here it is, and just put that in there too. And then gradually just blend that through. Make sure it's well incorporated into your batter. That's it, just like that. Okay. Now, I've set my oven at 160 degrees. That's a fan oven. It's 180 if you haven't got one, gas mark 4. I've taken my 2-pound loaf tin here, and you can see I've lined that with some parchment paper, but grease it first, all right, so it comes out really, really easy. Then we can take our cake mix, and you're just pouring that into your loaf tin. There you go, look at that. That's perfect. Okay, now, let's pop that into our oven. We are talking about quite a long time here, guys. Anywhere between an hour to 90 minutes, really. So do keep an eye on it, all right? That's okay. Now, what about that topping? Cream cheese into your bowl. Followed by some butter. And then some icing sugar. Just sprinkle that in there like that. Okay. Now, because we've got icing sugar in there, you really don't want to start your beaters at full speed. Just nice and slowly. Just start that off very, very gently. Very simple to do. Now I'm just going to pop that in my fridge, let that chill down a little bit, and then we'll spread that on top of our cake. Here is my cake. I've taken it out of the oven. That's okay. Put it onto a rack and allow that to cool. And you can see what I mean about putting that parchment paper around it, because it comes off ever so easily. Look at that, really, really beautiful. And I'm just going to spread that lovely icing on the top and then transfer it over to our dish. Ooh. There you go, guys. All right then. And we're just going to get that like that. Pop that on the top. Good old dollop on there like that. Look at that, eh? Lovely. That's okay. Just smoothering that like that. Oh, a little bit of orange zest going on there. There we are. And I've got some nice little sort of rosemary bits here that I'm just going to take that and just kind of pop them around the cake like this. Very simple, very kind of casual. And there you have it, my carrot, orange and rosemary loaf cake. And next time you go to a cake shop, you're thinking, what shall I have? Shall I have the raspberry, the lemon drizzle, or the carrot cake? Well, you won't need to make that choice, because you can make it at home by yourself. Well, that's it for today, but I hope my recipes have shown you how much there is to savour in the wonderful world of vegetables. And I'll tell you something else, it'll half put you in a good mood.